Let's take it back to the track now with the Speed and Sound 111 Sports and Saloons, classes A, B, and C. 20 cars all in all making their way down, and a nice field of cars coming to do battle here. We're on board with Ryan Quanchai at the start. It's a rolling start on the tail, as you can see, of Adrian Dalton as they go up on the inside. Look out around the outside, though, for a massive charge coming out of that little Chevy. And in fact, the Chevy's gone wide. Yes, he has. Oh! Nowhere to go. Well held. Teammate nearly went into him. Steve Truter taking evasive action here. You can see from Bruce Turner's point of view as he comes up. He's also one of the cars that has to go on the inside and just misses the front of that car. Well done, Brucey T.
Just jumped out of my seat because I thought I was going to hit that car. But Ryan Quanchai, we saw him in the production cars earlier. He's now out here in the Speed and Sound class and right up there challenging for the lead already.
Class C, absolutely amazing drive from another Hendock car there, and looking good so far at the little Golf 1. Look in the background, they're on the track racing BMW all over the back. It looks like it's going to be a battle royal there between him and Brett.
Talking about battles, this is Class C honours between the local man, and that is Terence Ayers, with Jannie Brett just on his tail. So this is going to go down to the wire, no doubt.
Vaughn Albidol in the background, and the big Jag of Beatty comes through as well. Rory Beatty battling at the moment, but he's got some pressure coming from behind from Ralphie Kearns and yours truly. But at the front end, no one's going to catch this man. He is in the invitational class for 111s, and Mike Schmidt will take the invitational category as he crosses the line. Ryan Quanchai wins out Class A and beats George Besaidenote and Yanni van Rooyen to the line. Van Rooyen beating out Clive Densham. Then it was Bruce Turner taking Class Bs and Richard de Roos in the Porsche Boxster in second in the Bs. Rory Beatty with some problems on the big Jaguar.
Very difficult, very tight, very technical. Had a bit of an incident on the last corner, but unfortunately I ran out of speed with my gearbox. It got a bit too hot, so I had to end it a little early, but really good fun anyway.
Moving on to Class D and E now, on board with Philip Mayer as they cross the line. Your man on the Hospitality Mojo Porsche. As they head down towards turn 1, keep an eye out on the inside, I was going to say, for Craig Buerter, and there he comes on cue.
Watch out for Eddie Leach, Wayne Wall and Louis Scholz just behind them, and Ryan Shane and Stefan Snyder's also in this group and going to be right up there battling for top 3 honours.
Porsches and Golf 2s at the front end, that's what it's all about, 924 Porsche options. A little bit further back there, keep an eye out also on Paul Griffin, one of our Alpha Trofeo guys who comes and races in 111s, and great to have him here. He certainly was loving life in amongst Anvar Hafferty, Grant Turner and Snyders. But here we go, Leach under pressure now, and he's leading Class E, so he doesn't have to worry too much about Wayne Wall, although Wayne Wall would like to come through and take that honour away from him.
Greg, now I love this. Car number 500, Anvar Hafferty.
Well, he is Hafferty, and he's going well. That's great action at the front end, though. As you can see, the two Golfs now starting to open up a little bit of a margin, and in fact, Philip Mayer got some work to do on the brakes. Can he make it stick? Eddie's going to have to give him some room, and does so. Wow, Class D and E getting real close. And in fact, the way that Eddie Leach is going, he's going to have to be careful he doesn't break out, because that's how this class works, Rob. It's all time-based, and if you do break out of your allotted time, you get bumped up to the next class up ahead of you.
Craig Buerter, he's definitely going to get bumped up because he has annihilated the field here, and a great move there by Philip Mayer. A really brave move on the brakes that promoted him up into second position, and second in Class D, with Eddie Leach picking up the Class E honours ahead of Wayne Wall and Louis Scholz.
Ryan Shane and Stefan Snyders and Paul Griffin eventually down there. A great effort for 8th place. Adrian Dalton with some work to do. Looks like some issues in the Class A, B and C's now to be sorted out in race number 2. Let's see what happens off the line as we go on board with Chris Davison.
Heading down into this tight left-hander, we've seen plenty of action so far in today's racing, heading into turn 1, and it looks like they're all going to get through. As I say that, that's that man, Ryan Quanchai, gets it all kinds of wrong in that BMW of his.
Yeah, incredible stuff from Yanni van Rooyen. He just managed to miss that Z4 coming back on track. This is Hilton van Nieuwenhuizen. Up front, it's yours truly. There's Breert around the outside looking for opportunities if we can get through. Adrian Dalton not getting a great start, and in fact falling behind Clive Densham in the Alpha.
Yeah, Hilton van Nieuwenhuizen just behind him, Richard de Roos and Terence Ayers in the Class C. They're going to be battling out there with Vaughn Albinol, Ronald van Rensburg and Rory Beatty in the Jaguar.
And they're taking some strain right now, and at the front end, Ryan Quanchai closing in. You see Yanni van Rooyen has managed to sneak through. There is the battle for Class C's, and Ella's hanging on for now. Got to push hard. It's not easy in these tricky conditions right at the end of the day, and I was battling a little bit, unfortunately, with a rear shock issue, but managed to stay up there in second place. Speaking of second place, it's still up for grabs, and it looks like Dalton might have an issue.
He does, and he's got Yanni van Rooyen coming up thick and fast. But this man, George Prezadenhout, coming to the flag. It's going to be Mark Schmidt. The invitational card is going to take the win. It looks like George Prezadenhout is going to hold off Adrian Dalton and Yanni van Rooyen to pick up second, third, and fourth.
Second, third, and fourth, but first, second, and third in Class A's. That's how they cross the line. Ryan Quanchai in fourth place in the A's there. Fifth place overall. Clive Densham just behind him. Then it was Hilton van Nieuwenhuizen taking the C's, ahead of Terence Ellis, who finished up just behind Richard de Roos. Straight into Class D&E race number 2. Golfs versus Porsches. And that big Golf 2 of Craig Buerta. Whole shots again. Right on his tail, Philip Meyer and Eddie Leach forcing Wayne Wall almost onto the grass.
Look out for car number 155. That's Ryan Shane. We saw him right at the front end of the field in race number 1. Also Louis Scholz there trying to pick up a top 6 with Wayne Wall right behind him, and Paul Griffin trying to get into that top 6 as well.
At the front end, Craig Buerta's doing everything right to close the gap down between himself and Louis Scholz in the overall championship. He's winning out, but Scholz is just circulating right now. Looks like a bit of a clutch or issue on the car. He's going to try and get as many points in the bag as he can. Not going to be easy to do that. Problems there for the 98 of Brett Maurice. He pulls to the sideline, and he's out in the Escort Mark 1. No worries at the front end, though. Philip Meyer, though, might just spoil the day there for Craig Buerta.
It sounds like a complete mismatch when you say a Golf up against a Porsche, but that's exactly what it is. And Craig Buerta, at the moment, in that Golf, is holding out Philip Meyer in the Porsche. That's for Class D honours, as we're going to come to the line. So only a couple of corners left, and it looks like Buerta's got this one in the bag.
Yeah, nice run there from Buerta. Snyder's eventually sneaking up into possible top 5. But checkered flag coming out for Craig Buerta. Double victory on the day. That is definitely going to bring him closer in the overall championship. And that's a great effort from him. He comes across the line to beat out Philip Meyer, who will come second in the Class Ds. Eddie Leach third overall, and a win for Class E for Leach. Ryan Shane there in fourth place. Stefan Snyder's Louis Scholz doing a great job to maintain his overall lead in this championship. We caught up with Craig Buerta to see how things went.
It was tough conditions. The track was tough, but I really enjoyed it. The golf went very well. I'm very, very happy, very pleased. 2 first places, ecstatic.
Amazing stuff out of Dezzi South Coast Raceway. We head back to Swartkorps on Friday, the 24th of September. Hope you're all going to be there to come and join us for the next round of the Extreme Festival.
Engen. With us, you are number 1.